Are they finally doing it? Is a Warcraft animated series coming? Man, I hope it's in the works. If you haven't jumped online before this, you may not have seen the latest animated short in the lead up to The War Within. A day prior, we got a 5-second teaser which had people losing their minds. This 5-second teaser was enough for people to think Blizzard had finally done an animated series from a short snippet and no context. Then bam, we get today's release of Illyria, Light and Shadow. 5 minutes of great animation, powerful emotion, and beautiful action. Can we get more? If you have ideas or thoughts on an animated series for the Warcraft universe, throw them down below in the comments because I'd love to hear them. I'll start now though with my thoughts on this short before I discuss the possibilities of a series. The powerful storytelling we are starting to see come back to Warcraft honestly feels great. If the game itself can keep up with this hype train, World of Warcraft is going to be in a great place with The War Within. Illyria being one of the main characters in the North Soul Saga has been shown a lot of love so far. The fact that they've touched on other characters that we know will be in the expansion such as Arator and Turalyon to some degree is comforting. While Sylvanas' story arc took her out of play, her being seen in this short could be a sign that we could see them reunited in either The War Within or maybe even Midnight. The fact that she has such a strong connection to Illyria and more recently Anduin makes me think she'll make an appearance somewhere soon. Also, let's face it, Illyria is definitely looking badass going into this expansion. Now, an animated series. What do you think? What could we get? While there are a lot of purists out there, I don't think anyone can knock the idea if it is done the right way. So where should the story come from? Fans, existing stories from in-game, or new adventures and characters? I'll share mine now, but post your thoughts and ideas down below in the comments because you never know who is reading them. I think the stories could come from anywhere, but it depends on the audience you want to capture. Also, can they use the original voice actors or substitutes if they don't want to be involved? Some will say it has to be the originals, but that's not always possible. I'll only say this though, medicine will always be green Jesus. In the existing archive there are some great stories. For me, one though that comes to mind straight away is 1,000 Years of War from 2017. I'll put links to that below. This was a great audio story based on Illyria and Turalyon when they joined the Army of the Light. Now, while this wasn't seen in game, it is a well written story that could be adapted to suit. Another could be the rise of Varian Wrynn from when he was young and expand on the story of his exodus to Lordaeron and friendship with Arthas before Arthas went all Lich King on us. Another thought is sort of an original idea, but it will hit home for a lot of older players or classic players. What if they pick a class, let's say an Orc Shaman, and they build an actual story around them from the original starting zone to their rise to glory? Start in Durotar. The opening quest can be episodic and expanded, but not everything has to play exactly to the story in game. Why is this Orc doing this training to be better in helping the locals? He wants to follow in the footsteps of Thrall maybe? He arrives in the Valley of Trials but is asked to prove his worth and investigate the dark happenings in a nearby cave. He then investigates the whereabouts of a troll in the west that has gone missing, and after all that he starts to head to Sen'jin village before heading north. You get where I'm going with this. There is a platform of stories there that can be adapted from the game. There just needs to be care taken that the deviation isn't too far from the game, if at all. Or what about the story of Thrall growing up as a gladiator in chains at Durnhold Keep? The Warcraft universe has that much story behind it that the ideas could come from anywhere, but finding the right story to not only keep the purists and the classic players happy and bringing in a new audience is a balancing act that will be hard to find. The only one I think they will find it hard to do right in anyone's eyes is the story of Arthas, but he does deserve a better legacy than what Retail WoW left us with in the end. I'd still watch it. I have no doubt that Blizzard has been working on something like this in the background. If they haven't, they will now. Off the back of successes with adaptations like League's Arcane and the Arc animated series, it'd be stupid to not be looking at the wider appeal here. I'm one of the many looking forward to what they can do based off everyone's reaction with Light and Shadow. But that's me. Catch you next time.